Hey y'all, I'm coming today with a tough question. When was the last time you did strength training? Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, this morning before work, but I have to confess, I hate to confess this, I haven't done strength training in a long time. When my husband died in 2017, it just took me into a tailspin, and honestly, I haven't done what I needed to do physically ever since then. And you can tell I feel guilty about it, but part of the reason is, I mean, I was kind of suppressing it and just not thinking about it, walking some, but otherwise no strength training, none of the things that I used to have as a regular part of my routine. But I saw this podcast video with Dr. Amy Lyons, I think her name is. And she says, and here, this is just absolutely mind-boggling. She says that your muscle is the key to being young. And I can't believe it even now. I was like, what? And and she created a really compelling argument. So even though I've been talking about you think secrets for 6 months now and doing a lot of research, boy, this is the first time that I've heard it put like this, where if you want a younger, healthier, more vital body, you have to have a strong muscular system. You know, your muscles connect to your spine, and everything depends on, being able to stand up straight and having the strength to do the things that your body needs to do. And so I'm confessing right here and now that I have really dropped the ball in this area. And if any of you watching are in the same boat as me, well, let's get together and support each other to just tell the truth about what's been happening and make changes starting today, because this is important. This is very important, and we can't afford to drop the ball on this. Not if we want to live long and live healthy and live strong. We have to get back on track with this right away. So, for me, I didn't ever make a decision to stop working out. But when I was so tortured by grief when my husband died, it didn't even occur on on the radar. It wasn't like, oh, you should exercise. No, I don't feel like it. It was just that just didn't show up for me. Getting out of bed was like a workout at that time. So if you've been through something like that, I can relate. I don't feel bad about dropping the ball at that point. I was doing the best I could just to keep going. But somewhere along the line, um, it just turned into a habit, and it dropped into this unconsciousness about the need to keep up my strength. I've walked. It's not like I just turned into a total couch potato, but I work a lot, and I usually work sitting down, and I just felt like I just didn't get around to it. So, um, if you've been in that kind of a slow fade sort of a situation, then my heart goes out to you. I I can really relate. And and then there was also this idea, how there's aches and pains, and I've told you all that beginning in January, I've started to make some radical lifestyle changes about what I'm eating. And so my body I'm not having the aches and pains that I was having before, most of the time at least. And so I have to admit that I had really started to feel just more careful about my body, because you know how people they you talk about blow out your knee. My brother, for example, who's younger than I am, has already had a knee replacement, and I sure don't want to be damaging my joints. And so it began to sort of be an idea of taking care of myself. I mean, even that sounds a little fishy, doesn't it? But it was like, you never know. I don't know how your sports injuries were, but most of mine happened when I wasn't thinking that I was doing anything dangerous. And and then just there all of a sudden something was too much, and then it was like, well, now you're injured and you can't take it back. You can't have an undo. I mean, wouldn't it be great if we had an undo button? Well, there's no undo button. So also, I think this idea of sort of protecting myself from getting injured started to play into my thoughts about all of this. But I have to admit that the way that this Dr. Lyon put put this idea out that your muscles are the very key to healthy aging, I just was like, just a big slap in the face. And so I decided to write about it and out myself and encourage anybody who might have kind of fallen into the hole that I fell into and say, look, we can't let this go on. We have to climb out of the hole and do something, and do it gradually and at your own pace. And if you need doctor's advice or something, of course, do all those things. But really, what happened to me that partly set all this off is my daughter invited me to a yoga class last week. And because I wanted to spend some time with my daughter, I went to it. And honestly, I was surprised at how well my body did. I didn't, I took it easy. And when I felt like I was maybe pushing a little too hard, I would sit it out for a couple, breaths or counts, and I quit a little before the class was over because I just started to feel a little, you know, little shaky, like everything's been worked enough. That's good. So I was careful, but honestly, I was very pleasantly surprised at how well my body was doing this gentle yoga. And it wasn't hardcore the way I used to do. Gosh, when I was in my 30s, I did hardcore yoga. And I have those pictures. I should probably get them out and remember what I used to be able to do, because it would be encouraging. I know that those muscles remember how to do those things. And as I build my strength back, who knows? I might be able to do all the things I used to do if I just begin a regular practice again. So, what did I want to tell you after that? The muscle, oh, here's the exact words. Muscle is the organ of longevity. The organ of longevity. I mean, I don't know how that hits you, but that hits me like, wow. We think about our heart and how we need a healthy heart and everything. And of course, the heart is a muscle. So in a way, we're saying the same thing, but it's not just the heart muscle, it's all the muscle. And so the muscle is the organ of longevity. And it's not about, looking bulky or turning into a weightlifter. Although, gosh, I somewhere along the line I stumbled into this um, article about a woman who's in her 80s who's winning weightlifting competitions in her age range. And well, that was mind-boggling, but neither here nor there. Muscle is anti-inflammatory medicine. Now, if you're having these joint pains and that I was experiencing, apparently part of the reason for that is because I haven't really been exercising my muscles properly. So I know part of it is from inflammation from the things I was eating, especially my sugar addiction. But apparently, on top of that is not my muscles aren't getting the workout that they actually need. I mean, think about that. If does your body really needs to have your muscles doing things? So, okay, muscle is the lever that pulls brain health, metabolic health, hormone balance, and aging trajectory. Well, there you have it. You know, that will keep your weight down. It will help you sleep better. I mean, there's just every reason to do it. And this is one of those things where I think that our brains don't help us very much because sitting around as a couch potato is comfortable and it feels, you think, I think it feels good. You can be relaxed and comfortable. But it turns out that the thing that you think that you're giving yourself, and I mean, exercise doesn't have to take a long time. A long time ago, I went to a strength training class where they had it all worked out so that you could exercise all six muscle core groups in 10 minutes. And they do these exercises to the point of muscle failure, which means, it's given you everything it has. And you can do that if you have the right amount of resistance, you can take a muscle to failure in around 60 seconds. And then you move on to the next group and, well, I don't know, somehow it all works out to be 10 minutes. And who can't do that? Come on, we can do it. This thing that I had, you can do it at home. Don't even have to go to a gym. You can get these resistance bands. You don't have to lift weights or have weights. So I'm gonna I'm gonna get that thing back out and I'm gonna work out and get strong again. Oh, and if weight is an issue, absolutely. This Dr. Lyon says that if you keep your focus on your weight, you are in a losing battle. But if you put your focus on your muscle, then you will build the metabolism that will help you with your weight. That just makes so much sense. Now, there's also a big connection to the heart, as we were saying before. Heart coherence reduces the cortisol, which, for the most part, is the driver of inflammation in the body. And inflammation is what leads to chronic illness, heart disease, artery disease, diabetes. All those things are all as a result of inflammation. So when you keep you, heart coherence is a lot about steady breathing. You can take yourself into heart coherence when you learn how to breathe in a way that tells your body, okay, everything's fine. You're safe. There's no saber-toothed tigers on the horizon, and it's safe to just be calm now and relax, let the blood pressure drop, and and this is the state that we want the body to be in the majority of the time, and especially when there isn't any real threat around. I mean, one of the worst things that we have to deal with in modern life is that there's stress coming at us from all directions, and the ability to let it come and pass through and go out the other side and remain in this centered, calm place, that's a very important skill that we have to master these days. So, learning the heart coherence from heart math is very, very important. And that's where the consciousness becomes such a powerful tool, and why I focus on age reversal through consciousness, because as we learn to use the power of our conscious awareness to activate the parts of our physical body that need to be activated in order for us to be calm and healthy and vibrant and strong and radically alive, as I like to say, those emotions of joy and bliss and happiness, those things, we can't get too much of that, especially in these days and times where it's so easy to just look here and get upset about that and look there and get upset about that. We have to learn to keep a focus on the aspect of ourself that is connected to the whole and is fed by the whole, and live in the abundance of our mindset and an abundance of possibility. So, if strength training is going to help with that, then I'm all for it. And I'm going to stop listening to the part of my brain that wants to tell me I'm too old. Strength training at 69? Hell yes, strength training at 69 years old. I'm going to do it. Why not? I'm not going to lift, a zillion pounds or anything, but I'm going to have strong muscles. And I'm going to stop this attitude that, oh, the decline hijacker. We just cannot accept that this voice in our head says it's hell to get old. And because I've been 69 trips around the sun, that means something about me that's bad. It doesn't have to mean anything like that. I can remain fully alive, fully engaged, fully physically connected, and if things have gone out over into health problems, start where you are and find your way back. So many things can be impacted by the way that you think about your body, the way that you feel about your body, the things that you put in your mouth, how much water you drink. There's so many ways that you can find this lovely equilibrium of balance of caring for yourself and engaging and serving in the world. And that's what we need to enjoy this part of our lives, right? We need to feel good and we need to feel that we have something to offer. And when both of those things work together, then we're really doing something for ourselves and for everybody else. So we have to reframe the strength training as a way of loving ourselves. And your body, I think that your body will thank you for it. But it might take a little bit of adjustment. And I'm not saying, set the world on fire. I'm just saying start. Start with a can of soup. Just do something. Do something and let yourself. The the anti-inflammatory signals that your muscle produces, they're called myokines. And it's almost like being kind to me, right? And so we want to allow ourselves to have the experience of these myokines flowing through our body. So I want to finish up with a guided practice. You know how I am about these 2 or 3 minute things because we all have 2 or 3 minutes. You could do this sitting at a traffic light if some of your lights are as long as some of the ones I sit at. So if you can do this in front of a mirror, but if you're and you have a mirror in your car, so if you're at a light, you can look at your eyes in the rearview mirror. But if you're in a can't do that, then you can just close your eyes and imagine being in front of a mirror and look at your body. Not in a judgmental way or an evaluation way. Just ask your body, what story are we telling ourselves? What am I telling you? What are you telling me? Are we telling a story of old age and decline? Or are we going to tell a story of radical aliveness? Put your hand over your heart and think about a time when your body surprised you, like my body the other night on the yoga mat. That was such a nice surprise. So think about a time when you did something physical and it was easier than you thought. Maybe you did a little hike and you thought it might be too much, but it wasn't. Or you climbed a hill with your grandkids and maybe they raced you and they won they won the race to the top, but you made it up there and that's okay. So feel that memory in your muscles. Just feel what it was like to be moving, to be in that vibrant state of motion. Feel the strength that was there. It's not gone. It's been waiting. When I was If you've ever done yoga, you finish yoga usually in the corpse pose. So I was lying on the mat in corpse pose, and I thought to myself, well, I'm not dead. And and that's what I hope that you experience too, is that if you've gone a little too far off the physical path, that you find a way to reconnect with the part of yourself that's your body, that's still alive, that's still ready. It's absolutely a fact that you can build muscle at any time. You're never too old to build muscle. In fact, somebody like me who hasn't done any strength training, when I get started, it'll build fast at first. Your body's like, all right, let's go. And you'll see. You'll give it a try and you'll see. So feel the possibility of what your body can still do. Stop thinking just about the limitation, but really lean into what's possible. And even just to admit to yourself you don't even know for sure what is possible, but be willing to explore. Then open your eyes and say to that face in the mirror, if you're in front of one, I am radically alive, and then fill in your age. I'm radically alive at 69 years old. My body is not declining. It's ready and willing and able to be as strong and vibrant and healthy as I am willing to let it be. So this week, think of something physical that you can do that maybe you had kind of convinced yourself that might be too much for me. And just very gently, don't push, don't shove, don't do anything dangerous, but just in a safe way, move toward whatever that is and see how it goes. And if you feel like it, drop something in the comments because I would really love to hear from you. I'm starting over with my own strength practice this week, and I want you to join me. I'm not telling you that I have it all figured out. I'm telling you that I am actively discovering my own aging hijackers that have been stopping me from experiencing the level of radical aliveness that I know it now. It's possible for me. And I'm here to tell you I think it's possible for you. So let's come back in a few days and check in and see how it's going. Thank you for listening. I love you so much, and I'll be back soon. Bye for now.